From winning the XFactor band in 2019 after stealing the public's hearts with their real and raw songwriting, their fantastic ability to sing and harmonise all together, RLY were destined to be the next big girl group coming from the XFactor machine. But what stops them from achieving this? COVID, members leaving, management or label issues? Or was this just the wrong timing? XFactor the band days. RLY, also known as RLY, firstly found fame on the XFactor the band in 2019. And before you ask, wait, I didn't know XFactor had a spin-off show. Well, yeah. The XFactor had 2 spin-off shows actually in that same year. One was XFactor Celebrity, which was a right shit show, and then there was the band version of the XFactor that firstly came on the air after the Celebrity version in December 2019, which only appeared on air for just 1 week. XFactor the band itself, if you can tell, wasn't supposed to be due on the air until the year after in 2020, and another spin-off show was supposed to take its place during this time that was also known to be called XFactor All-Stars. However, XFactor All-Stars was cancelled due to failure to seek participants for the show. That makes sense because this was the time when previous XFactor contestants were all coming out on exposing the mistreatment they had received whilst on the show or signed to Psycho Records, aka Simon Cowell's record label. One example was Zoe Alexandra. If you don't know her story time, she was a contestant who auditioned for the X Factor, but she was treated horribly, so go watch her video for more tea on that. But I'm sure you might have watched her video if you're British, but if you haven't, then I'll have the link to her video in the description. So, XFactor the band was moved from 2020 to 2019 in a short amount of time. That made this TV show feel so rushed. Plus, Little Mix had their own Making a Band TV show due to air in 2020, which I have a whole review on that shit show available on the channel. So this was another reason why this show was moved forward to 2019. Plus, Little Mix and Simon had beef at this time, leading Little Mix leaving Psycho Records at this time. So yeah, things were absolutely chaos in Psycho headquarters. So in December 2019, XFactor the band was now officially on air, introducing us to the 6 main culprits we will be deep diving into today. But firstly, where the hell was this filmed? Well, the show was filmed in a rather different environment than the usual audition room live studio they normally do for auditions, and they'd rather have a more intimate approach, and this was in Simon's office. Before we move forward into this video, we have to address the elephant in the room, and that is Simon having a self-portrait in his office. Gosh, I would find that creepy to look at if I auditioned for that show, because oh my days. Anyways, where were we? Oh, the auditions. The current judges on this show were, of course, Simon, Nicole Scherzinger, Naughty Boy, and just a bunch of random producers I have no clue about, no big deal. Plus, during the live shows, Simon brought back previous X Factor winner Leona Lewis, who won the X Factor in 2006, as a former judge for the live shows as well, and she did a phenomenal job. She's such a sweetheart, by the way, I love her. So the auditions go on, and we finally meet our 6 girls: Luena, Jess, Virginia, Holly, Kelly Marie, and Sasha. Luena was a standout performer who auditioned with her original song, Worth It. That is an absolute bop, by the way, and immediately impressed the judges with her high notes. I also streamed that song so much back in the day. Jess was another standout performer who also auditioned with an original song for her audition called I Love It. This audition was mind-blowing. We all knew from this day that this girl is a star and has made it into the band. Like, you don't see 16-year-old girls have the confidence to perform like that. Now we meet Kelly Marie, who also auditioned with an original song, and she explained to the judges that she wrote this song by herself. The song was called Hasta La Vista, that she wrote for a girl band to sing, and no, it's not the camp rock song. Sorry. This song instantly was received well from the judges, and one of the producers told her that they'd love to produce this song one day.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I would like to produce that song.
Then we meet Virginia, who didn't have the perfect audition like the others, but I think this was because of her nerves. She firstly auditioned with an Ariana Grande song, but the judges told her it wasn't good enough and that she should come back later to try again. A few hours later, she auditioned with her second song, that was Say You'll Be There by the Spice Girls, and bless her, you could tell she was so nervous because the judges basically told her that her voice wasn't good enough and she had to try again with a song she wasn't unprepared for. I just feel so bad. Because X Factor contestants are braver than me. Because I just would not survive this show. Then we meet Sasha, who auditioned with a banger from one of the greatest girl groups of this generation, Little Mix, and their song, Touch! And yes, she ate that up. Then lastly we meet Hallie, who I believe didn't have a full segment audition on the show. However, she did have a full segment from the boot camp auditions. Even though her vocals weren't the best from the show, the judges noticed that this girl had star quality and she would bring the fun energy to the band. Plus she is also a dancer as well. Her style was very like Aaliyah 90s, and we get to the boot camp 6-chair challenge, and all of the girls get through, as well as Jennifer Youssef, and the 7 girls have a sing-off with each other, so the judges can pick who is in the band. The judges picked Luana Jess, Kelly Marie, Hallie, and Sasha to join the band firstly, and originally sent Virginia and Jennifer home. However, that wasn't enough for X Factor, of course, because we needed the views. So Nicole brought Virginia back to join the band to make a 6-piece after the judges broke her heart after letting her go. Honestly, as stage as the X Factor was, bringing Virginia back to the band was the best idea because that girl brought so much fun to the group dynamics, because without Virginia, the dynamic looked a bit stale. Then we get to the live performances where the girls rivaled against the boy band also made from the show too, who were known as Unwritten Rule. Classic boy band name, to be honest. And this was when we found out that the name for the girl band was originally called Real Like You. And I don't know about you, but this name is so ugly. However, it makes sense for their branding from what we see musically in the future, because this group was all about celebrating their true, real selves. That revolved around talking about mental health, actually being ambassadors for the Young Minds charity.
The Young Minds have put together, and it's basically to raise awareness for mental health and the well-being of young people. And it goes around loads of schools, and it's basically just raising awareness. It's something that we've always wanted to support, and we've done for a few years. And we have a cover up on TikTok and bits and bobs, and a donation thing in our bio. And like we were just saying before, we're trying to raise a little bit of money for it, and again, just like any kind of awareness you guys can spread as well. Resharing stories, if you're wearing yellow. I know none of us are currently wearing yellow, but there are lots of posts.
We've done a lot.
And making sure everyone is heard as well. That's why me as a fan fell in love with them, because they were just so honest and bold, and they were just great. girl group who stood up with talking about their differences, if that makes sense. So the live shows go on and the girls sing Independent Woman by Destiny's Child, Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato, and a mashup of Ariana Grande and The Weeknd's song I Can't Feel My Face and Problem. And lastly, for the finals, the girls perform an original song written by their member Kelly Marie called Be Like Them. And that instantly made the British public fall in love with them because of the authenticity, relatability, and the realness coming from the lyrics. Oh my god. We've never seen a girl group do something like this before, except from Little Mix. Little Mix's LM5 album. That is so real. This performance and song even made Simon cry, telling them that this performance brought back the same feeling he got when Leona was on the show.
It reminded me when you sang Summertime, and I knew at that moment we'd found a star. And I felt exactly the same emotion during that song.
RLY Q ended up winning the show, taking home the prize of being signed to Psycho Music because it's what they deserve, and the show ended with them singing their winning single, Be Like Them, with an emotional montage of their families running onto the stage to hug them. And yeah, that was the end of a very short season of X Factor the band. But what happened next? A lot actually. If you remember, the X Factor winners normally have their winning single released on streaming platforms. Meanwhile, this group didn't get to have their winning single released for some reason. And this was way before Psycho Music was closing down, because that record label ended up closing down in the middle of 2020. Maybe because X Factor the band was rushed and they didn't get time to plan the release of it. But that still doesn't make any sense as well, because you can just put it on streaming platforms so easily these days. After coming off the show, the girls signed to Psycho Music and signed to a management company that is known for lateral management, who has artists like Paloma Faith, Labyrinth, and I think Ray was also signed to them at some point, and the new upcoming R&B boy band No Guidance, which we will get to them later. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that they worked with her at some point. The girls were seen a lot in the studio during early 2020, and it seemed like they really were cooking up for their debut single until bang, the coronavirus lockdown hit, and we all know how that planned out. This led to the girls being separate from each other in their own homes. However, they were still making and posting TikToks of themselves individually on their band account, so the fans who were following them could keep up to date with them and get to know them individually before they properly debuted as a group, which is normal because I like that with groups these days. I like to get to know them before the music comes. However, things turned upside down for the sixth piece because their member Sasha, also known as Sia, had announced she has left the band in August 2020, and the rest of the RLY Q girls continued as a five-piece, although Sia's departure didn't really hurt them in the long run due to the group still being fresh, so this made it easier for them to rebrand themselves.
Down, da 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 down, da da.
After the lockdown restrictions became less strict and Sia's departure in 2021, the band all moved in with each other in a flat share where they'd be able to work together easily as a band. Also in 2021, the group started writing and recording music as well, where the girls travelled to Sweden to record music. They also vlogged their experience. However, these girls removed the Sweden vlogs, but we will get to why later on in the video. This was when we first started seeing a proper band content on their TikTok, and the girls also made their YouTube channel where they posted singing videos, covers, vlogs and challenge videos too. This was during the time when they were showing the most engagement on their socials, with many viral videos because their unique spins, like showing their relatable and humorous side, their Guess Who Is Singing videos. If you remember them well, they did a lot of those Guess Who Is Singing videos. I think they were known for them at some point on TikTok. And of course, their cover mashups they posted on YouTube. Their driver's license cover reached over 207k views. However, one of my favourite covers from this time was their cover of Mariah Carey's Anytime You Need a Friend, and that had splendid vocals.
It's alright, anytime you need a friend, I will be here. You'll never be alone again, so don't you feel, even if you're miles away, I'm by your side.
Luana also did the arrangement for their cover also. They did a few other covers, for example, they did a cover of Ariana Grande's Into You and Normani's Motivation, but these covers have been removed. However, if I find the clips re-uploaded on another site, I'll include in the video.
I'ma break you up, let me be your motivation. I know I didn't want to touch my body. I'm so into you. I'm so into you.
One of my favourite moments of this year was when the girls dressed up as the Spice Girls for Halloween, such as Hallie was Sporty Spice, Virginia was Posh Spice, Luana was Scary Spice, Jess was Baby, and Kelly was Ginger, of course, and it was such an iconic time. And we really started to see the beginning of a new chapter. During the end of 2021, the girls uploaded their first original song since the XFactor onto YouTube, and this was a Christmas song written by their member Kelly. The song is called Join Us by the Christmas Tree. Although this wasn't uploaded onto streaming platforms, but the girls uploaded onto YouTube, which they have removed now, which is annoying. However, another channel has re-uploaded it, and others have made lyric videos to the song, and yeah, that was the end of 2021 in real life news world. 2022 in the RLY universe was such a crazy and hectic year for the girls, because this was the year the girls started to tease original music on TikTok, Instagram Live, and etc. Until one day in March 2022, Kelly teased a little bit of a random, unusual guitar solo with the cheeky caption, "Guess the song." And when you look at the comment section, Virginia comments a toilet emoji. Then a few weeks later, Virginia starts humming the same tune in a bathroom doing her makeup with also a toilet emoji. Again. And for sure, the realisers for finally the debut single is coming after 3 years of waiting for music, right? And suddenly the RLY girls post these photos on Instagram being seen at a very special dinner/meeting with their management, with the caption saying, "We can't wait to tell you about last night," and another post saying restroom booth with that toilet emoji again. Then Jamie Lateral, their manager, posts the same picture tagging the girls, and Virginia comments Easter. what's going on? So obviously, we're getting the debut single very soon, right? Then in May that year, Jess posts a TikTok video on the band account in a room with songwriters singing and coming up with the lyrics to the song that sounded like the same tune as the previous song Kelly and Virginia were playing and humming with the toilet emoji.
Got a situation.
It's exactly that.
Got a situation. I could really use your help.
Oh.
What on earth is going on in the House of Commons?
This was green flags that a debut single was coming, certainly. Well, not exactly, because later in summer, people started to suspect something very weird. Where the hell is Luana? Fans were commenting under every TikTok video because nobody had a clue where the hell she was. Everyone was scared, confused, and worried. Until later on, the official RLY Instagram page posted a statement saying, "You may have noticed the RLY squad have been rolling as a four the last couple of months. Sadly, we have parted ways with Luana. We continue to love and support her always. Our journey as a five has been amazing, and Luana was a key part in making us the band we are today. Working on lots of exciting things. Thanks for your patience." The weirdest part after posting the statement announcing that Luana has left the band, the group deleted the post the day after, which made it even worse for fans who didn't get to see the post. So this led to even more confusion and nobody knowing what the hell is going on with the band. Like, I get it. You want to move on as a four-piece and rebrand yourself, but at least keep the post up for another week so the other fans are able to read and understand what exactly has happened. But yeah, like, some people have jobs, have busy lives. I hope I'm not being mean, but I'm just being real. But yeah, the girls move on as a four-piece from now on.
Now just signed with Warner Records.
And then we get into RLY's new era. In summer 2022, the four of the RLY girls moved in together into a brand new flat, starting off their new era as a four-piece. They uploaded a vlog on YouTube and TikTok announcing that they are now signed with Warner Records.
Really homing in on the music now, just signed with Warner Records.
Woo! Which was one step forward to music being released. Finally, we're making progress here. This was the era the group really settled down and actually started with teasing more unreleased music, such as the first snippet they teased was a brand new original song called Ring the Alarm.
I've been working on faking and making this through
as they were in the studio, which ended up blowing everybody's minds with the excellent vocal range from Jess. Then on the girls' TikTok, they posted two other videos of them singing two unreleased tracks known as Our Very Loved Favourite, Love Me or Not, and Wasted Youth. The realisers back then were fed because at least we were getting something. All of this long wait for music and we're finally getting something from them. Absolutely amazing. We were blessed. Also, during this time, the RLY girls really were acknowledging and communicating with their fans, where we got to see so much fan content, such as so many live streams on Instagram and TikTok, going on Zoom with fans as well, and hosting a meet and greet with fans as well in London. They also started a Discord channel where they would communicate and update fans on music updates and their daily lives too. Everything was going so great. The grass was green and everybody had so much hope for these girls. However, I remember on their cheeky little Zoom call with fans, because I was there, they asked us how would we feel if they got a brand new fifth member. And yeah, we shouldn't forget, these girls love a cheeky little tease from time to time. It was practically their brand. But yeah, this was the start of something. In December 2022, on Christmas Eve, RLY started teasing again. This time it was a snippet of the 4 of them singing an unreleased song called Can You Fill Me In, which also samples Craig David's song Fill Me In.
Why were you creeping round late last night? Why did I see 2 shadows moving in your bedroom light? Now you're dressed in black, when I left you were dressed in white. Can you fill me in?
So this instantly got the fans hooked and intrigued with what the hell is happening. Halle ends up posting a video of her crying to Love Me or Not in her car.
I don't mind if I fall apart. Just say if you love me. Won't you tell me you love me?
And Jess posts a video of her singing one of the unreleased songs as well.
Won't you tell me you love me or not? Won't you tell me you love me or not?
Honestly, this was such an exciting time to be a realiser because finally we were getting something after such a long wait. Until January the 1st, a massive bombshell hit. RLY deleted all their posts, rebranded into RLY, and announced that they have a brand new member that will be revealed on the next day. Everybody was shook. Like, who the hell is this girl? Many people thought it was Jennifer, who was also on XFactor the band, but didn't make it into the band back in 2019. This gained so much traction for the girls because finally it seemed like they were serious about releasing music, and now this led to them gaining many followers due to the intrigueness that was yet to come. The next day came along and it had been announced that the new 5th member is Kyra West. And if you don't know who Kyra is, Kyra was firstly known to the public on the CBB show Got What It Takes in 2017, where she met Kelly on the show as well. Little do you know, Kyra was also in the girl group Sugar with our favourite icon Georgie Douglas from the current girl group Flow, with another girl that turned out to be Ellie from Melodies. Yeah, that band from Little Mix of Search, by the way, if you remember. After Kyra joined, the girls announced that they were releasing their demo version of Love Me or Not on SoundCloud. And this was one of the best moments of RLY history because finally we're getting a full song from them after waiting for 4 years. Although it was still a demo and the fandom was so small, the fans took so much time to help promote the Love Me or Not demo on SoundCloud. Like, we were making posters, fan videos and etc. to try and support these girls on their career. RLY even dropped a few more covers, such as their Cuff-It cover, which went viral on TikTok, leading to over 4 million views, and posted on YouTube and SoundCloud as well. The other 2 covers were their cover of Escapism by Ray and their cover of Kill Bill by SZA, which were also posted on SoundCloud. They were also teasing a lot during this time, especially in the studio and the making of how they were making their covers and covers. However, after this rebrand, RLY went silent for a few months, but would occasionally post the odd TikToks. And at this time, we had no idea if they were still signed to Warner Records or not. So this led to fans and their supporters to become very suspicious, because why tease so many unreleased songs at once, but only release one demo and a few covers after? They probably had label issues, which explains the change in labels from when they officially debuted in August, and that's why they could only post a demo on SoundCloud. The long wait from the Love Me or Not demo and the blow up of Cuff-It cover died down, and the girls sadly began to lose the hype a little bit, because they really were over teasing many unreleased songs at once, which led to believe fans and supporters lose hope, sadly. However, I have been doing some digging and I've realised that their manager, known as Jamie, has posted 2 unreleased songs that seem like demos of Wasted Youth and Ring the Alarm, songs that have previously been teased on RLY's public TikTok hundreds of times, and this has been made publicly since 2022. It honestly pisses me off so much because these songs could have been posted on RLY's main SoundCloud page and that could have been saved the hype that had been back then. But no, that didn't happen, didn't it? I'm still salty to this day. I actually am. The official debut.
Thank God.
So RLY officially debuted on the 3rd of August 2023, and guess what their debut single ended up being? Yes, Love Me or Not. And don't mind me to complain, but Love Me or Not being the first debut single to officially be released on all streaming platforms really did not help them at all. It honestly just led them to lose more hype because everybody already consumed so much of Love Me or Not for 8 months and everyone just grew sick of the song. By the way, it's not their fault though. This was just bad marketing on the management side. Honestly, their second single, Superpower, should have been their debut single because it truly sent out a great message and went so well with their brand as well. The song is written by members Kyra and Jess, and honestly, it's such a motivating song which talks about celebrating your issues rather than sitting down and feeling like you're not good enough. This song is so empowering and spreads an amazing message to young people. Also, if you noticed in the Superpower visualizer where they zoom into a notebook, you can see that they were teasing a track list for an upcoming EP, maybe coming soon. And if you remember the songs written on that paper in the visualizer, they were Love Me or Not, Superpower, Safe and Sound, Generation, Ring the Alarm, and also Restroom Booth. During this era in the autumn time, the girls did quite a few promotional things, like they were on BBC Radio 1 Future Pop a few times. They had an interview with Planet Babushka, which RLY are the only guests on the show. I'm confused. And then in October 2023, RLY did their first headline show, which was the first time seeing them perform to a live audience since the XFactor. And by the way, they ate up that performance so much. Virginia was also sick, so she wasn't really singing that much of her lines, but my god, she really did pull through though. I wouldn't be able to do that if that was me. Then in December, the girls released a Christmas cover to Destiny's Child's 8 Days of Christmas. They performed the song on BBC's Live Lounge, but they rewrote the lyrics to make a Gen Z version, which is very clever of them, and I do wish they released that version instead of the cover. However, that might have been because of copyright issues.
So we have decided to cover 8 Days by Destiny's Child.
Yes!
Obviously had to do a Christmas song for the December Make It Pop. And we basically rewrote the lyrics to make it a little bit more current, a little bit more Gen Z.
Yes.
And yeah.
And 2023's ended now, moving on to 2024. Things started happening for RLY musically in February 2024 because this month the girls finally dropped their best single yet, which was Safe and Sound. After the many teasers and snippets posted on TikTok, this song now had a proper music video which was displayed as a very aesthetically pleasing house party music video. Honestly, Safe and Sound was a hit in my eyes and deserved more mainstream attention. It's also nearly catching up to Love Me or Not in streams as well because it's a banger. So if you enjoy pop, drum and bass, garage music, then Safe and Sound is the song for you. And plus, people who and even a fan of girl groups love that song. Like, even men have said that they love Safe and Sound. Although, ever since RLY started to release music, they started to release their singles at a very weird time of the day. For example, it was always every Thursday at 8 p.m, just before their song would be played on the radio for the first time. I always thought it was a strange time to release a song, because why couldn't they have just released on Thursday at 12 a.m? It would make perfect sense, because fans and listeners could stream the song all day on release day. But anyways, nothing is what it seems with RLY. Then in March time in 2024, they really were being consistent with releasing music, because they released their track Ring the Alarm on the 7th of March 2024. Honestly, I wish they just waited to release a song once the EP came out the month after, because just look at how horrible that single cover is. I'm not trying to be a hater, but that is boring and low effort. Then finally, in April 2024, the Generation EP was finally released onto streaming platforms. Yay! However, the release days also got confused, because the EP was supposed to be released on Thursday the 19th of April. However, the EP came out 2 days earlier on the 17th of April, so the girls went from teasing music for ages to now releasing a song every month now. Absolutely crazy. Plus, let me tell you, their song Generation from the EP is one of their best songs. Definitely, you need to check it out. And the Visualizer music video, whatever it's called, it's just so artistically done. They must have had like a good budget for the music video. However, there was one issue we had to pinpoint, and that was, where the hell was Restroom Booth Confessions? This song had been teased on the track list on the Superpower Visualizer video, but nowhere to be seen on the EP. So this led to us fans practically up these girls' asses, flooding their comment section and DMs to release Restroom Booth for nearly 2 months. Then suddenly in late May 2024, RLY finally released Restroom Booth Confessions, and this song didn't have a proper music video on YouTube, and they basically filmed the video for the song only on TikTok. So basically, it was only like a TikTok promotional video. However, RLY really did try and promote themselves on TikTok for the song by making an interesting concept where they interviewed people in the bathroom of pubs they were playing at. I thought this was great, but their attraction on Twitter and TikTok and every social media weren't really doing well at the time. They were kind of falling off because of the lack of promo to songs as well. People weren't really finding them or checking them due to the long wait to release music. Also, during May 2024, RLY were booked to perform at their first festival, that was the Great Escape Festival. However, they pulled out due to the involvement of Barclays, who had financial ties with companies arming Israel. Although during this time they were still booked for smaller gigs in pubs. During one performance, Jess had to miss a show due to being the lead of a burlesque the musical, so the other girls were singing her parts, which was cute. RLY were also set to have an interview with a Jodie Bryant's Fangirl Files series. Unfortunately, only Virginia, Hallie and Kyra showed up to the interview, so we didn't get the rest of the girls all together. I am guessing Jess was busy with burlesque rehearsals, and I'm not sure what Kelly was doing. But yeah, the video is up on Jodie Bryant's YouTube channel, and it's funny. They talk about XFactor and being starstruck by that man, aka Simon Cowell, and talking about how he's such a short king in real life.
To be fair, like, seeing, like, Simon Cowell was quite funny.
Oh, yeah, that was quite funny, actually, both of them.
Meeting him in real life for the first time.
Yeah, you're like, wow, you literally looked so perfect, basically.
Really?
Like, they just look like a wax figure. He's a bit small in real life.
Really?
Smaller than you think. You think he'd be like 6 foot, but
no.
Sorry, Simon.
On May 31st, RLY announced they were doing another performance at the Camden Eye on the 7th of June. That would have been their last performance together. Or was it? Because on the 7th of June 2024, RLY announced that they have to cancel the show due to unforeseen circumstances, and they'd let us know about any rescheduled dates, and all the tickets bought will be refunded immediately. The disband. After RLY announced the cancellation of the show, they went completely silent on all of their band accounts. Months go by and there's no official disbandment post, and fans start to get agitated, and if you look in the comments of their last post, it's just a bunch of confused supporters of the group who have supported these girls for so long, disappointed that there's been nothing said. However, the girls did announce they were going their separate ways, but this wasn't somewhere for everyone to find out. This was announced in a small fan group chat, apparently about their disbandment. Honestly, I don't want to sound rude, but I just think that really isn't fair, since they have supporters outside of the fan group chat, and this put responsibility on us fans in the group chat to tell other fans outside of the group chat that they've disbanded. And I forgot to mention, the day RLY disbanded was the day Cat's Eye debuted. So interesting. After the official, not official disbandment announcement from RLY, the girls looked like they were still friends with each other but following their own paths. This brought more confusion and speculation on them, because still people have no idea they've disbanded due to no official announcement on their socials, and the girls pretending that nothing existed on socials, which is kind of annoying to see. Until later in August, where Virginia is firstly captured with EastEnders star Bobby Blazer, the son of Jade Goody, who is known for being on Big Brother, that passed away due to cervical cancer in 2007. The Sun publicly states in the article that RLY decided to split this year to pursue solo careers. Well, no shit, Sherlock. So yeah, now we have a public announcement and it's not being addressed by them publicly. Although this wasn't the last time we heard anything RLY related, because during that year, Ebube from No Guidance, who is also under lateral management, left the boy band. Although scrolling through the comment section, I have noticed a very suspiciously comment made by ex-members from RLY, RLY. Sia's mum particularly allegedly exposed their management, talking about unfairly removing members from another band. Ebube also stated that he never wanted to leave No Guidance, which makes sense to Sia's mum's comment.
Like what happened with the group, and the only thing that I am gonna say is that I didn't want to leave.
Had to add that part in here because it explains a little bit of what may have been going on behind the scenes. I thought it was quite interesting and explains why they took so long to release music. Overall, honestly, I have many thoughts on RLY, and I feel like they were the right band made at the wrong time. The diversity they had, the ability to write their own songs and produce, was everything the year 2025 wants. They were showcased differently, talking about their own struggles of mental health, which may have been impactful and relatable to younger audiences. However, I feel like circumstances from the time really affected them as a group, such as COVID, members leaving, management, label issues, and etc. And as the time they finally debuted, it was too late. Audiences already moved on to the next upcoming girl group Flow, because there wasn't any consistency to keep many supporters engaged with RLY themselves. Of course, they had their true fans, but it saddens me how many supporters who were fans of this group that did not care anymore or forgot about the band altogether. I honestly feel like by the end of the band, they looked like they lost passion of being in a girl group due to being together for like nearly 5 years, and during those first 3 years, they couldn't even release music. Like, would you lose passion? I would have been bored. Plus, there was so much pressure on them to release music from winning a reality television show. And if you haven't released music yet or haven't kept the momentum, you will most likely be forgotten about. And by the time they were releasing music, they were doing mini solo projects, which probably gained them more opportunities they had to take, because by the time in 2024, RLY, the band, wasn't really making any progress. And just to clarify about not making any progress, I meant how their music wasn't going anywhere. They had a few radio plays, but that's it. There was no promo, and everyone were just moved on from them. I really wish they would give him more promotional opportunities, like performing at more festivals after cancelling the Great Escape Festival. Festivals would have been a great promotion opportunity with the type of music they were making. Like, Safe and Sound is such a British summertime festival song that can resonate with anyone. Like, I can imagine that song playing at Leeds Fest, Leeds Reading Fest, whatever. Even men in my life have agreed that Safe and Sound is a great song, and that song deserved more promotion because it was a hit. Anyways, let's end this video on a less depressing note. Where are they now? So firstly, Jess is currently doing well with herself at the moment because she is currently on the West End playing Ali Rose in Burlesque the Musical. She also makes YouTube videos talking about her experience of being a part of the musical, and she makes singing videos of her singing her original songs. She also has her debut EP out called 18 and Anxious, and by the way, you have to stream it because it's an amazing EP. My favourites are Tempting and So Good. Again, the best EP ever. Go stream it because she is amazing. I love that girl. Kelly is also a songwriter, and I believe she is a part of M&EK's new program for young queer songwriters called Proud Sound. Kelly also helped co-write a song called Strangers with James McVeigh, the guy from the boy band The Vamps. This was released in November 2023 with James McRae and Lila Vargan as a featuring artist. It's such a great song. Definitely check it out. Hallie has also joined another girl group, which you've probably seen go viral a few times on TikTok. They're mostly a dance group who I believe also sing as well. Their Instagram name says they are called Miss You, but I'm not sure if this is an official name yet. But I am super excited to see them grow because you know I am a lover of girl groups and I am always sapped for a British one. Virginia, as you can see, was dating Bobby Blazer last year according to The Sun, but I'm not sure they are together now. She's also an influencer, going to brand trips and brand events and stuff like that. I don't know what else she's doing, but I've seen a few singing covers she's been doing on Instagram Reels, and I hope she's doing well. Kyra is also working on her solo career as well, such as the other day she teased an unreleased song on Instagram which she had written with Jess. By the way, Kyra, Jess, Kelly and Hallie still spend their time together in the studio with each other, which is cool to see. I don't know if Virginia wants to have a solo career or not in music, but I would like to see her do at some point. Luena has started her own band with her fiance known as Kyno or Kyno. They make drum and bass rock songs if you like that genre. Also, I forgot to mention Luena met her fiance from XFactor the band, which is super cute. He was in the boy band.
You so precious when you smile.
I forgot to mention the duo has a song released called You Don't Know Me, where there is an oddly specific lyric at the start of the song saying, "There's only 4 girls that I still despise."
There's only 4 girls that I still despise.
And now lastly, Saoirse or Sia. But looking at her Instagram, she still works in the music industry, and behind the scenes, she's raising money for musicians with disabilities that may affect their ability to release music, which is amazing to see, and I'm glad she's using her platform to support people and children who really need it the most and giving them the chance to reach their dreams. That is so amazing of her. Speaking of Sia, as I'm just editing this video, Sia basically just came out on her Instagram stories talking about the reason she left the band. She states, "That's right, 6 years later I can finally come forward and tell the truth. The girls cut me from the band 2 months later due to irreconcilable differences." I don't know how to say that word. She stated on the next slide, "I was told by management and the band that we would have to come up with a story to sell the public so the other girls' careers can continue." Then she explains that she was forced to make the announcement after 7 months, but in reality, the girls already mentally checked out with her months before, such as not talking to her unless they were in a Zoom meeting, stopped inviting her to hang out with her, and also shut her ideas down, which is really not fair. I wonder why they did that to her. Maybe it was the management or Psycho, the label, telling them to distance themselves away from her. I have no clue. I'd love to know what their side of the story is. Then she proceeded to say that the A&Rs from Psycho stopped putting her in the studio with the girls, telling her to try new ideas at home. Again, this is all from Sia's own words from her Instagram story of what happened, so please don't sue me. I'm just talking about what she has stated, and this is not looking good, and this just explains how messy this band really was, and they deserved better. Okay, so that's the end of this video. I've been dying to make a video dedicated to RLY for so long because I've been a fan of them since the XFactor days, and I couldn't not let their talent and story be forgotten about. So everyone who is still watching, please keep streaming RLY's Generation EP because that is the best work of art I have ever heard of. Okay, thanks for watching this long video. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Also, comment what girl group or boy band I should make a video on next who is forgotten about and disappeared from the spotlight. Okay, see you, bye.